Ukrainian forces reportedly broke through in 3 areas of the Kursk region: Lyubimovka, Velike Soldatske, and Martinovka, according to the Institute for the Study of War. Meanwhile, Russian media report renewed activity in Sudzha, signaling continued Ukrainian offensives. According to Russian sources, nothing exciting happened overnight in Kursk. Situation on the Kursk front. Nothing happened overnight. The enemy is active around Sudzha, pulling up reserves. We believe a second attempt will happen soon. The situation on the front near Sverdlivkovo and Pobedovka remains tense. Active assault operations have been recorded along the forest belts, where Russian forces are heavily using aviation, artillery, and UAVs. Despite heavy losses, the enemy shows no intention of retreating and continues to bring in new reserves, indicating their resilience and willingness to continue fighting. The use of Mavic and FPV drones, as well as remote mining, indicates the enemy's high level of adaptation to the current battlefield situation and their desire to identify weak points in the defense. However, our forces demonstrate resilience and return fire, providing strong resistance to the enemy's attempts to probe the front. Effective coordination between artillery and the drone crews continues, resulting in the successful destruction of enemy personnel, bunkers, and equipment. Ukrainian positions in the Kursk region are crucial, as they will undoubtedly play a significant role in any negotiations that may take place within the next year, said U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. North Korean soldiers are evicting Russian pensioners from their own homes in the village of Makhnovka in the Kursk region so that they can hide from the cold and drones. We know for sure that they were Koreans, not Russians, not only by their physical appearance, but also by other intelligence. The streams we watched clearly showed that they were Koreans, and we also know that they were operating in that area and suffered significant losses. Ukraine says Russian and North Korean forces have suffered heavy losses in fighting in Russia's southern Kursk region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the Russian army lost up to a battalion of North Korean infantry soldiers and Russian paratroops. A battalion can vary in size, but is generally made up of several hundred troops. North Koreans were taking extreme measures to avoid being taken prisoner, and in some instances were being executed by their own forces. A lot of dead Russians in this new video from Kursk. A group of Russian infantry trying to reach Ukrainian positions through an open field, this time captured by the pilots of the 110th Mechanized Brigade. The outcome of such assaults is clear. We can't show you the bodies, but the second part of the video is full of them. It's clear that Ukrainians are inflicting heavy losses on the Russian military in Kursk. Families of North Korean soldiers killed during hostilities against Ukraine are required to sign non-disclosure documents. This was reported by the international intelligence community Inform Napalm, which translated information and important testimonies published by the Radio Free Asia. The families of the dead North Korean soldiers are receiving certificates of death of their relatives, along with which the DPRK government requires them to sign a non-disclosure document. An anonymous source from North Korea informed the RFA about receiving such a certificate. On December 18th, my mother and I received a message that the Gyeongju City Party Committee was summoning us to participate in a provincial party event. When we arrived in Pyeongchang, we received a death certificate of my younger brother, who served in the Special Operations Forces, the source said. According to the source, they've been told at the event that the soldiers were killed during sacred military exercises on which the honor of the motherland depended. The source added that more than 10 families attended the event, and most of the soldiers killed in action belonged to the Storm Unit. Most citizens know that the soldiers from the Storm Unit were sent to the Russian-Ukrainian War. That's why the families of the victims also guessed that their beloved ones died after being sent to Russia. But the authorities pressured us to put our fingerprints under a document that prohibited us from telling anyone about anything related to this. We did so, and went home in tears, the source said. Another source reported a similar event held on December 27th in Tokchan. Such measures are unusual for the DPRK for several reasons. Usually, when military personnel die in North Korea during military exercises or as a result of accidents, the unit to which they belong informs their families of the cause and place of death. This time, however, it was not the army that called the families and handed over the death certificates, but the party. There was no mention of the place or cause of death. It is known that the families of fallen soldiers receive benefits from the state for goods and in the implementation of personnel policy. At the same time, North Korean government officials do not officially inform the citizens about the losses of their contingent. At the same time, there is growing resentment among citizens that young soldiers are being used as cannon fodder to earn foreign currency. Militarny has repeatedly reported losses among the North Korean military from drones, artillery, and small arms fire. The Magura drones were hunting for Russian helicopters specifically, said Ukrainian Scout 13th. The commander of the Special Forces Unit of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Group 13 with the call sign 13th, revealed the details of the historic air-sea battle in the Black Sea, when on the last day of 2024, missile strikes from Magura 5th, 5 naval drones managed to destroy 2 and hit 1 Russian helicopter in the Black Sea. In this operation, our task was not, as usual, to hide from aviation. We went specifically to hunt for air targets. We were full of inspiration for a meeting with the enemy, the scout said in an exclusive interview with journalists of TSN. The enemy has pecked. We were spotted. We started working. The maximum we had right next to us was 3 helicopters at one time, despite the Sukhois flying there. Logically, said the 13th, according to him, it was necessary to aim and strike a missile at a detected enemy target as quickly as possible. With the first strike, Group 13 operators managed to hit an enemy helicopter. The Russian crew didn't even realize what had happened. They even shot down air traps and then fell into the Black Sea. Then, after some time, confirmation came that the second one had been hit. In total, we have 2 destroyed and 1 damaged. Zrania, the scout reported. President Zelensky, almost every day we defend our skies from Russian missiles and drones. During this night, 103 Shaheds attacked Ukraine, which used 8,755 foreign-made components. In total, during this week, Russia used more than 630 strike drones, about 740 guided aerial bombs, and almost 50 missiles of various types, which is more than 50,000 sanctioned components from around the world. Moldovan breakaway region Transnistria's energy crisis deepens. Coal reserves at its power plant will deplete by the end of January, leaving the region without electricity, following halted Russian gas supplies on January 1st. Moldovan authorities are preparing emergency measures. The crisis in Transnistria started with the cutting the supplied with Russian gas from Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.